Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. That's much better. So I'm Lekan, and what we've been able to build, what we're going to talk about today, is one of those things that 4 years from now, we're going to turn around and say, my God, you changed the game. Just like you didn't believe 4 years ago that 1,000 black technologists were unicorns and it wasn't a thing. 4 years from now, we're going to look back and say something special happened. And we changed the game in terms of how we attract diverse talent, how we skill talent, how we promote talent, and how we invest in talent. This is the thing I'm super proud of. And we're going to talk about a bit more. We will launch we launched today. First cohort will be in September of this year, with the goal of graduating first cohort by end of year.
We'd love to see actually people in seats by kind of late this year. So Christmas time coming in sort of January would be the perfect ideal, but to do that we've obviously got to get the academy 3 months actually set up and running, and the people through the academy, and of course the preparation from now through to that launch point in the fall to actually, as we talked about earlier, get all the mechanics right, get the training right, understand how it's going to work, and then bring it to life.
Who are eligible? Anyone in all of Canada? Okay.
No age restrictions, and black identified, right? And a member of BPTN, right? That is the eligibility. You don't need prior, experience in technology. We'll teach that. But really, is you live in Canada, you identify as a black person, you are eligible.
Okay. And it's very competitive, you mentioned.
It's good. We anticipate it's going to be very competitive. There is a need for those jobs. There's a need to hire great black talent, and we believe there are skilled people or people with the right type of attributes that we can train in these. So we see a market opportunity to do that well, and also increase the representation of black talent in the marketplace.
Is there an issue usually with representation of black people in the market, in the tech sector?
I would say that there is not a good enough representation of black talent in the actual engineering sector as it stands. As I mentioned earlier, there are not that many people graduating percentage-wise as it stands today, coming out of the traditional science, technology, engineering and math degrees. And so this is a way for us to actually add to that particular complement. So I think it will actually lead to greater representation of black professionals in the technology arena.
Was it a coincidence that this event happened during Collision?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I was just wondering.
I think you'll see in an hour or so, we're launching our joint venture for the Be Future Global Summit, right? It'll be 20,000 people here in Toronto, or 20,000 people, 2,000 people in Toronto in October. So we're launching that today, and we're going to have a ton of folks here. The right people will be here. So let's just get them together and actually, also launch this new boot camp. So it was a coincidence that Collision was here, but it wasn't a coincidence that we, put, this announcement together with also, launching the Be Future Summit.
The interesting part is that technology is such a hot commodity now that it is in most of the actual conferences, if you think about it. So I wouldn't say it's planned as such, but there are that many conferences now happening continuously all around the world that this focal area around Be Future, and of course the actual OBSIDI Academy, you're going to see more and more of these type of events, in my opinion, on every single walk of life in every single major city in the world.
Can you give me some numbers in terms of representation within the sector, IT sector, for blacks, as opposed to other groups of people?
Black professionals are underrepresented, and there's companies are not there, right? Currently, right? The numbers are lower than they need to be. I think that's where we are as a company, focused on, making it frictionless in terms of supply and demand, companies hiring, and black tech professionals connecting to those opportunities. So I think this is why this is a great opportunity, right? Because it meets a business need, but also meets a social need, right? There's no contradictions there. It helps business and it helps society.
And you were saying that the deadline that you had for meeting the goal of hiring 2,000 people at TD would be, what year was that?
So we put a goal out there in 2022 to hire 2,000 more technologists into the company.
Oh, for just 1 year?
We didn't put an end on it,
okay.
to be honest with you. But we want to hire as many of those technologists as possible, and this is one of the vehicles for us to actually bring more talent into our technology organization as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can sum it up by talking about what the participants will be learning, what they'll be getting from the program.
Well, they'll be learning, back end and front end development, right? Because we want to make them a full stack development, so they can do both front and back. The nitty gritties of it, we can provide you, that information. But the goal is to ensure that they can hit the ground running, right? After their 3 months, they can, start their jobs at TD, and they're ready to make an impact in the business.
Back to that 2,000 number, we hire an awful lot of people into technology each year, and we have lots of different areas of focus, lots of different languages that we use in the software industry, and lots of different specialities within the actual engineering domain, from developers to quality engineers through the DX designers. So at the end of this, the goal is to have what we call a full stack engineer that can operate across numerous of those disciplines in our organization, in the engineering teams, actually being productive. Meets our goal in two different ways, and as Lekan said, it's a social great for all good. So the good part of this is we will finish somewhere with better people, better talent, better outcomes.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thanks for the time.